Baltimore Ravens fighting for their lives, playing Miami. I don't know what they're fighting for. It's happening tonight. We're going to make some money on that game, plus a whole lot more. We're going to take apart every NHL game on the board, every NBA game on the board. We're going to talk a little baseball, a lot of college football, and we're going to find out where all the money is going at the Westgate. I'm Lawrence Pressman. You're watching the best betting show ever. Art DiCesare with us, Joe Raineri. What's going on, Art? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Happy to be here as always. Lot to talk about this morning.
Yep. Joseph, excellent guitar work yesterday. We had close to 200 comments. I think I was responsible for 80 of them and Art 20. But either way, shout out to you guys who comment in the comment section. Thanks for that. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and let's get straight into it, Art. Let's start right off the bat with where the money is going on tonight's NFL game. And it looks to me like it's going on the Baltimore Ravens.
It is, Prez, but we've been pretty steady at 7.5. Total of 51, pretty steady as well. We've almost pretty much seen, just sidewise, some good two-way action. I would say it's a little bit shaded, probably, 55, 60% towards Baltimore. Obviously, we always talk about this. When a game's in that range, Baltimore's going to be very heavy in the money line parlays and the teasers, starting everybody's stuff off headed to Saturday and Sunday. So regardless of what happens, we'll need the Dolphins. If the Dolphins could win the game outright for us, that would be enormous.
What about Art? It's been interesting here. We didn't know what Lamar's status was, I guess, early. You never know after that debacle last week, but it didn't stop everyone from betting the over, right? What I saw 48.5 at the open, Art, and it's been a steady stream of over money. The public usually doesn't bet until tonight, right? Was the public the one pushing this up and over as well?
Yeah, I'm going to say, Joe, for us, it was public over money, and even saw more of it this morning. And, we didn't budge off the 51. Now, it's possible we go up a little bit higher, but, it's nothing sharp that came in. Like you said, that number was 48.5, and it's just steadily been climbing all week. And, I always say it, primetime games, standalone games, the public loves to bet overs, and this game is no different.
Art DiCesare joining us. Before Joe and I and you give our opinions and our bets on the Ravens and Dolphins game, let's stick to where the money is going. The Vikings and the Lions, Art. Lions just signed Hutchinson or your contract. They got to be feeling good about themselves. They're coming up with a bye. I'm not walking into this Lions team. And of course, the Panthers are playing in Green Bay. Huge line. Where's the money going?
Yeah, obviously Minnesota, they're going to go to McCarthy now. I guess he's healthy again. We're sitting Lions -9, and basically we got to the 9 for a little bit of teaser protection. You want to come in and lay a 6-point teaser, you're now on the key number of 3. You got to go up to the 6.5 or 7-point teaser. We're going to make you pay a little bit more on that because to us, what's the difference between 8.5 or 9 or 8 and 9? There's really not much. So we'll move up and have a little bit of teaser protection there. Carolina and Green Bay. Green Bay was 12.5, and we took sharp money there. Moved us to 13.5. Saw some under money as well from 45 to 44 on that game.
It's interesting here, Art. The NFL tonight will give us a pretty good idea of whether or not the dogs will be barking in prime time again. But it's a big week here in college football, week 10 as well. And we've got some intriguing movement already, it looks like, in a couple of these games. And including with, a one-loss Houston team that nobody seems to be talking about.
Man, this is, Joe, this is one-way traffic. West Virginia at Houston. They took 15, they took 14, they took 13. Now 12.5 on Houston. I don't know, it feels like the bottom to me. So if you like Houston, it's probably now time to bet that before it shoots back up. And those were sharp plays on West Virginia, especially at 14, especially at 15 and 14. 13, not as much, but those key numbers over 2 touchdowns for sure. USC at Nebraska. We opened this USC -7, took sharp money on Nebraska at 7. We're now 6 on the game. Totals really shot up from 57.5 to 59. And don't forget, that look-ahead line over the summer was pick'em. So there's been a big change there. South Carolina at Ole Miss. It feels like South Carolina emptied the tank last week, and they've had a bad year. Almost beat Alabama, but it didn't stop the bettors from coming in and betting South Carolina when we opened the number of Ole Miss as a 13.5-point home favorite. We saw sharp money on South Carolina there. We're now Ole Miss -12.5.
Jeez.
Yep.
I mean, that's a letdown city, I guess, Art, is what they're expecting from Ole Miss again?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess. To me, it's a letdown spot for South Carolina.
Yep.
Where they really almost could have beaten Alabama, and now you got to go on the road and play that high-powered offense. I don't know. South Carolina's just had such a bad year. I mean, Sellers is still there, so I guess you got a shot when you got that kind of quarterback, but I don't know. I can't like South Carolina in that spot. And just to mention, I know there's a couple of games tonight. The only one that really moved was Marshall. Marshall was 4.5, and now 6.5. So you've seen a pretty big move there on Marshall.
Art DiCesare, before we get into tonight's football game, and guys, we've got a lot to talk about on this show. Joe has 2 college football bets to give you. I have 2 college football bets to give you. That's coming up later. Art, baseball, I'm guessing the Dodgers are not -200 to win the World Series. Where's the money going? And what about the NBA tonight?
No, Prez, your team is over $2 now to win the World Series. Obviously, they go home with 2 bites at the apple. Now they got to go against Yamamoto in Game 6. He's a $1.40 favorite on the road, but it's kind of tightened a little bit. So, listen, for us, we're going to want a Game 7, even though we do really well with Toronto in the future books, and we'd love to see it end. But as I always say, more content for us is a good thing, and obviously those games are Friday and Saturday. We could talk definitely more tomorrow about Game 6, see if there's any movement. The only thing I can report NBA-wise is we did take sharp money this morning on the Bucks under 232.5. Move that 2 points to 230.5.
Oh, interesting.
There we go. Okay, let's talk Ravens versus Dolphins. Now, I gave a bet out at the beginning of the week that I still love right now, and I'll give it out again. And that is the over 20.5 from Miami. This is a bet I am personally making. And I'll break it down for you really quickly. Look, I understand that Baltimore has played well on defense the last 2 games in a row, holding Chicago to 16 and the LA Rams to 17. The Chicago 16 is phony. Chicago was able to move the ball up and down on the Ravens. And when you go back a little bit, you got the Ravens allowing the Houston Texans to put up 44. That would be like the Detroit Lions scoring 300. Kansas City put up 37. Detroit put up 38. Buffalo put up 41. This defense is not great. And I understand Miami's offense is not amazing, but they just put up 34, and they've gone over 20.5 in 7 of 8 games. So we're in the sun. The weather will be fine. Baltimore's defense is mediocre. Miami's defense is good enough. Over 20.5 for me in Miami. That's my favorite play. Joe, I'll go to you and then Art.
I think Art said it. Why is this line stuck at 7.5? It appears the entire public universe thinks just because Lamar Jackson is playing that somehow he's 100% and this game is going to be a runaway, except we're not seeing that in the market. This has never gotten to 8, hasn't gotten to 8.5. It's sitting at 7.5. And listen, this Dolphins team had every reason to quit on Mike McDaniel and Tua and on the season, and yet they lost a couple of games that were very winnable. The only one that they haven't really done anything against was in the frigid temperatures and the rainstorm in Cleveland. Outside of that, they're very capable of putting up points, especially against a suspect defense. I'm not convinced Art Lamar is 100%, and this line not moving, I think, tells me where the public is and why it's frozen. So I'll take the hook as long as it's available. How about you?
I don't disagree. And I think Lamar might be on quote unquote kind of a pitch count with his running, maybe. I don't know. How great's that hamstring going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, his rushing yard number is like 35 and a half, which kind of feels low for him. I get it. He's a quarterback, but that's Lamar's game. So I'm with you, Joe. I think the fact that we have barely taken any side money on the Ravens and moved that to 8 or 8.5, which for the most part's a dead number, but we haven't gotten there. Clearly, we're going to get the money line parlay stuff and the teaser stuff, which you expect with any game that's in that range. I'm with you. I like Miami plus 7.5. It's a short week. It's the home team. And, I even look at that Charger game when they were at home. They should have won that game. So Miami's been kind of frisky at home.
There we go. Okay, so parlay of the day. I heard Joe Raineri messed up yesterday's one.
What do you mean, the parlay of the day? Oh, yeah, that's true. Sucked. But that was the Cleveland Cavaliers who are on the...
Oh, so
hell
blame
no.
them.
Hell no are we betting them. They have their defense blows, and their offense couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat outside of the first quarter. So, yes, no more Cleveland Cavaliers for me.
Okay, leg one. I am going with, and it's juicy, but I have not done a lot of juicy bets on the parlay of the day. Carolina Hurricanes regulation, roughly around minus 140. Joe.
Interesting. Well, go to Art. Go ahead, Art. What are you liking in here?
Oh, so we're doing a daily one. I thought we were doing college football.
Yeah,
we're going to do that tomorrow?
Football.
Yeah, well,
no. You're right. Yeah. College football. My bad completely. My college football play, Texas Tech, minus 7.
I love that bet. I'm going to take Tennessee at home, minus 3 against Oklahoma, but forget the 3. We'll do Tennessee money line, minus 150.
Ooh, I kind of like that. All right, if that's the case, I am going to go San Diego State, a whale's vagina. I'm going to lay the 10.5 here. This is a team nobody is talking about, should be talking about, as they've already pitched 3 shutouts this year. Love this defense at home. I think they get close to another shutout in this one this weekend.
There we go. Art DiCesare, everyone. Art, I know Thursday and Friday you are jam-packed. Send my love to everybody at the Westgate. Have a killer day and night, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Art DiCesare, everyone. Awesome stuff. Joe Raineri, business, baby. Let's go. What is that?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got some business to talk about. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Joe Raineri, I got big card going tonight, man. I'm crossing all sports in action. I got 1 NFL bet, I got 1 NBA bet, and I got 2 NHL bets. And I'm rolling 4-1 NBA run, 4-0 NHL run, 3-1 on Sunday in NFL. Up big profit NFL on the NFL season. Really, really in the zone right now. 7-3 in my last 3 days of betting. Head over to WagerTalk, grab my 4 plays tonight. I actually think I'm going to have a perfect night. I'm really in great rhythm right now. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about the Weekend Warrior, which is really the special that you guys need to take advantage of. I've got a 5% play up in college football on Saturday. I got a huge play on Sunday, a very rare NFL 4% ATS bet. So if you're going to buy my 5%, buy the Weekend Warrior package instead. But guys, let's start with Thursday night. 4 plays. I'm going 4-0. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Joe, what do you got going?
Impressive stuff. Let's see. Also in Thursday night football, 4% top play, locked loaded there. Also, we have got ourselves ready to roll in the NBA again. Swept the board again last night. In the NBA, now on a 7-1 run there, Prez. I've got a barking dog tonight that I love. You can get that over at WagerTalk.com.
There we go. Okay, brother, so we're going to do 2 college football bets each. I will do the NHL rundown. You'll do the NBA rundown. And then we're going to do the mailbag. We got lots of comments from the mailbag, and I'm going to read one where the guy just rips me a new one. Those are my favorite, Joe.
Yes,
those are my favorite comments. Like, People ask me all the time, you're on social media. How do you deal with all the negative remarks? Oh my God, dude. They are the best.
Embrace it.
mean, how depressing or depressed a guy's life must be to shout at people on social media. I mean, anyway, let's
Not
go.
that
Cue
hard
the
to
clock.
figure out. Yep.
Yeah, college football. I got to wear glasses for this one. College football, baby.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Let me know. You ready? All right.
Okay, I'm ready. I got the glasses, the hat. Okay,
right.
I got my chapstick.
Okay,
There.
lube up. Here we go. That's it. Lubing up. That's it. Get the stick going. There you go. All right, here we go. And you're off.
Marshall minus 6.5 against Coastal Carolina. And I like this Marshall team here. This is a perfect example of a team that has found its identity. Joe, since Marshall made the switch to Carlos Del Rio hyphenated Wilson at quarterback, this offense has been on a heater. They're averaging almost 40, nice hand signals, 40 points per game in their last 4. They're clicking. They're facing a Coastal defense that has already proven that they will give up points. 48 points was scored on them by Virginia, 47 by Old Dominion. This Marshall team is going to score. I think this is a real mismatch here. Coastal Carolina's offense, a one-trick pony, and not even a great trick at that. They are down to a backup quarterback who can't throw the ball effectively, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is Marshall can score, Coastal can't. We're getting less than a touchdown. Take Marshall. Tennessee playing Oklahoma, huge game. Implications all over the place. We're going to take Tennessee minus the 3. This is all about data and trends for me. And the data in this spot is absolutely screaming Tennessee. First off, in games between two ranked teams like this, the home team has covered the spread 60% of the time since 2017, and that is a great start. It's a good sample size. It is a legitimate trend. Second, when the home team is also the better ranked team, which Tennessee is, that number jumps to 62% against the spread. And here's the best one, Joe. When the better ranked team is a small favorite or an underdog like Tennessee, small favorite in this spot, this trend goes to 66%. We're talking about a 56, 29, and 3 system. I'm going to use that system to make this bet. Take Tennessee minus the 3.
Woo! Love it, Prez. Well done there, my friend. Very well done. That was good. I'm glad you got the chapstick out of the way there.
Yeah, I needed it.
Yeah, no, you really did. Nobody likes dry lips on a rundown. All right, let's go. First game up here. Listen, they are going to be there whether we like it or not in the college football playoff conversation, and that is, of course, Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish here. You're never going to get a ton of value on them, but there is absolutely no way they are going to keep Boston College even remotely close to this game, who, quite frankly, should have fired Bill O'Brien a long, long time ago. They're coming off a bye week. They're ready to go here. And here's the thing that you love about Notre Dame. Number one, their coach there, Marcus Freeman, already said no to Florida and LSU. Don't even think about calling me. I'm not leaving Notre Dame. That's a good sign. Secondly, Notre Dame has been an ATM machine on the road over not the past 1, 2, 3, the past 6 seasons, 31-10 against the number on the road or in neutral games. That is huge. Why? Because defense travels, and this is the best offensive team we've seen in a while. Yeah, it's a big number. I don't care. The Golden Eagles had an opportunity to upset Louisville last week, even though they got outgained by about 300 yards. This is not going to be close. It's going to be a bloodbath, and I have no problem backing Notre Dame and laying the points. And let's go. Vandy at Texas. Texas at home here. Listen, for all the public love of the Commodores, they've become this trendy dog, and I'm not buying it. I think Texas at home gets it done in this spot. Diego Pavia has not been good throwing the ball over the last couple of weeks. Say what you want about Arch Manning. This is a damn good Texas defense. Also, they're heading into a bye week. With a win here, gives them an opportunity to get rested up and make a run at the college football playoff, which is exactly what I think they'll do. Lay it with Texas. Prez, those are my 2 college football plays of the day.
Joe, off topic, Bill O'Brien, when you mentioned his name, it reminded me, man, Vrabel did not coach under Bill Belichick. He played under Bill Belichick, but he didn't coach under Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has no coaching tree.
Yeah.
Like none. Not one. Matt Patricia, that Charlie Weiss guy, Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniel. Not one single
Well, you're talking
guy.
about head coaching tree.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he does have a coaching tree. I mean, Josh McDaniel's leading the best offense.
None of them made it. I mean, you look at Parcells and Joe Walsh and the guy from Gibbs. These guys, Belichick. I mean, there's not one single guy that's a head coach.
Nope.
Anyway, NHL rundown, brother. Every game on the board in 2 minutes. Cue the clock. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
So, Joe, you want to know how much times have changed? Buffalo is a favorite in Boston. I'm not even kidding you. That's not a misspoke. Buffalo is minus 120 in Boston. We're going to take the Boston Bruins here for no other reason than Buffalo is a favorite in Boston. Calgary and Ottawa. I love the under in this game. Come on. Calgary under is gold all year. And I understand they've scored at least 1 goal in their last 2 games. Ottawa's going to play to the under 2. They just came off a terrible defensive performance. I think they slow this game down, take the under. Dallas, Tampa Bay, take the under here too. One of those matchups, 2 really good teams, 2 teams with a lot of firepower. But when those type of teams play each other, I'd rather be on the under than the over. I like Philadelphia in regulation plus 110 against Nashville. I like Carolina in regulation minus 140 against the New York Islanders. I like Pittsburgh as a plus 140 dog. This Pittsburgh team is playing way better than I anticipated at the beginning of the season. And Minnesota is a bit of a mess right now. So let's take the money there. Vancouver, St. Louis, we're going to stick to the dog. We're going to take Vancouver here at plus 120. Talk about a mess. The St. Louis team is in a free fall right now. Chicago playing Winnipeg. This is a tough one, guys. I would take Chicago team total under, but I think this is a pass. New York Rangers against Edmonton. I like the under in this game, guys. The New York Rangers played great last game, 2-0 win against Vancouver. The only way they win is if they play to the under. And Edmonton, although they scored a lot last game, they've been playing to the under so far this year. New Jersey and San Jose, no reason to not take the dog here. New Jersey on a back-to-back. Not a back-to-back. They played 2 nights ago, but they lost to Colorado. I told you this New Jersey team was going to regress. Tons of money on San Jose, and I like the over in the Detroit LA Kings game. Joe?
Oh, I like that, Prez. All right, so the NBA abbreviated schedule from what we had last night, but we did watch the Magic throw up all over themselves again last night. Now they get to travel to Charlotte after Detroit beat the snot out of them to take on the Hornets. And for some reason, the Magic keep getting benefits of the doubt in the marketplace, and I have no idea why. They can't stop anybody. They look completely lost offensively. Slow it down, will you? The Magic are a team that likes to play physical. Slow it down. How about a 105-98 win, Magic? That would be great. The problem is you ain't going to get that against the Hornets because they're going to run right by you. I'll take the points with the home team. I'm seeing a theme here. The Bucks are getting 3.5 points at home. This is the first big road trip here for the Warriors. They're leaving California, going to Milwaukee. I'm not buying it. I mean, the Warriors should have lost against the Clippers a couple of nights ago. If the Clippers didn't shoot 34% from the field, the Warriors only scored 98 points and won a game somehow. Not going to happen here with the Bucks. I'll take the home dog. The Thunder are laying over 2 touchdowns with good reason against the Wizards. I'd look at a team total there over for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Miami Heat in the game of the night is going to take on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. This is the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. Something has got to give. Spurs were as high as a 6.5-point favorite. It seems to have settled right around the 5.5-point mark. Doesn't look like Norm Powell is playing for the Heat. Jovic is questionable, but does it matter? Because the Miami Heat have been running up and down on teams. Something has got to give here tonight. A lot of money to the under, and I'm not agreeing with it. I think it's correlated, though. If you like the Heat, bet the over. You like the Spurs, bet the under, Prez, and that is your NBA rundown.
Joe, let's keep moving. Mailbag section, and I'm going to read a doozy from Sports Phenoms.
Oh, God. What is that?
Yeah. So he writes, all you need to know about Prez as a handicapper is it doesn't matter who's at QB for Washington, and then he laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he writes, I met him at a donut shop years back, and we had a small chat. Was one of the most mono deadbeat personalities I have ever met. No wonder he partnered up with his twin brother, Marco. So much to unpack there, little micro man. Yeah, micro man. That's who this guy is. Needs to insult people to cover his own shortcomings. There's a pun there, Joe. Yeah. So listen, firstly, no one has ever called me a deadbeat personality. I mean a douche, a narcissist, an arrogant schmuck, a dick, an a-hole. Never a deadbeat personality. That's just weird. And secondly, when I met you at that donut store, which I don't remember, I probably gave you the worst of me because that's what you deserve. And lastly, Joe, why does it matter who's playing QB for Washington? These guys think that this stuff is the most important thing in the whole world. Oh my God. I study data. I study math. I study the rhythm of teams and players. Very rarely do I study matchups or who's playing. I don't even injuries. Everybody has their own strategy to handicapping. And my point about the QB for Washington was they sucked with Daniels in and they sucked with Mariota in. Anyway, that's enough of him. Joe, everybody loved your the other last thing is, again, we spoke about this up. Why do these people listen to us, Joe? Like, why does someone who hates me and thinks I'm a total moron, how does he make it? He wrote in there that when I said that about the QB of Washington, it was at the 35-minute mark. How did he get to the 35-minute mark?
Some people just love to hate, Prez. They got nothing else going on.
But why would they listen to us? Like, there's more content out there. I mean, why torture yourself and listen to us if you think we're idiots?
I would love to have that kind of time during the day to just sit back and wail on the keyboard and comment in a chat about a video. I just don't have that kind of day because I don't know. I'm busy looking at games and breaking stuff down. But I do have one, Prez, I want to address that was towards me from Michael Bukowicki, 9201, who somehow implied that why was I not bragging about my 4% college football play the other night, which was the wrong side. And I admit it. And he's right. Listen, it was the wrong side of that play. I should have not taken the total. I should have gone with JMU, but you live and you learn. That's what this business is all about here. But then he implied that I'm somehow sitting back and getting rich off of all the $5 bills that I must have cleaned up on for $5 Tuesday. There's a lot to unpack here as well. But first of all, here's the problem, and here's the point that you're missing. The idea that you're going to jump in, spend $5 to get my thought on a game that doesn't come to fruition if you would have, I don't know, just backed me again last night when I was spot on with Middle Tennessee State and cashed that ticket for clients, we'd be having a different conversation. So the bottom line is you can't just pick and choose random spots and think that speaks for the overall work of any handicapper. The bottom line is if you want to be profitable, you need to invest long term, because at any given day, a guy can go 4-0, he can go 1 for 3, right? But what are you going to do over the course of a season? What are you going to do over the course of a month? What are you going to do over the course of 100, 155 plays? Nobody is getting rich on your $5, guy. Nobody. But you know what? You would have followed me again last night. Guess what you would have had? You would have had that back plus more. It's not a one-hit wonder. You guys got to invest long-term if you want to be profitable.
Just for the record, though, I might be getting rich on the $5. Like I'm, I'm one of the main owners of WagerTalk, so I do get to keep some of that money. But rich, I wouldn't be doing this show, bro. I mean,
cleaning up on $5.
I mean, hanging out with Joe Raineri. Yeah. If I
and by the way,
rich,
$5, $500. The process for me is the same. And by the way, when you spend that $5 and you read my thought and my handicap on the game, you have
don't like it, don't
two options. Yes, you can either tail it or you can fade it. So let's not lose sight of the fact that we're never ever always going to be right, and nobody claims to do that. But if you want to profit long term with any of us, Prez, the way to do it is long-term, not random games once every couple of weeks and think, oh, this guy sucks.
Joe, I want to say one quick thing and mark it in the timestamp because I want to cut this section out and put it up on social media. One of our listeners asked, and he asked it in the NFL presidential address, my NFL show that I do. He asked, what is the top 4 things you need to do, or what are your top 4 strategies to become a successful handicapper? And rather than discussing my top 4, I really thought about this long and hard last night while dancing around the living room cheering for the Toronto Blue Jays. And I thought to myself, if I could isolate it down to 1, what is the single most important thing that you can do to be a successful sports bettor? What would that one single thing be? And my answer is look to not make bets. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I had a friend come over last night, 20 minutes before the Blue Jay game, and he said, okay, we're watching the Blue Jay game. What should I bet on it? And I'm like, why do you need to bet on it? The concept of it's a Thursday night football game, therefore I need to make a bet. It's a Monday night football game, therefore I need to make a bet. There's 16 NFL games. I need to make 16 bets. That's what's making you a losing bettor. Every day I wake up and my goal is to find ways to not bet. There are 11 NHL games on tap tonight. My strategy was to tick them off the list. Okay, not betting Boston and Buffalo, not betting Nashville, not betting the Philadelphia game. And whatever bet I cannot take off the list is the bet that I end up making. So rather than sitting down and trying to figure out what to bet tonight, try to figure out what not to bet tonight. And whatever is left standing is your winning bet. That is my number 1 piece of advice. No need to bet every game, every night, all the time. Reverse your strategy. Look to not make bets. And the ones that you have to make will have a better win percentage. Joe, any thoughts on that?
Well said, Prez. There's finding ways not to make the bets are a lot easier than finding ways to actually bet on games, because then you're just throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. So it's a lot harder to find ways to say, hey, listen, this looks great, but is it really that great? It's a lot harder to look at self and go, maybe we shouldn't be spending any money on it. Probably not not the best. I'm not sold. That's the process to go through, Prez, that everybody should go through. You don't have to bet every game. You buy a $5 play on $5 Tuesday, Prez. You don't like the reasoning behind the handicap. Nobody is saying you got to bet that game. Like, figure it out here, guys. Like, it's not that hard. Have some personal responsibility and self-control. It's what every handicapper who's any good has to have.
Yeah. It's such an important point, and it works in everything in life, Joe.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go look for a job. You know, I remember going into bars and saying, not her, not her, not okay. That I'm making up. I wish I had the ability to turn a lot of them down. That never happened. Anyway, that's my point, everyone. Don't look to make bets just to make bets. And
correct.
If you do have to, have two separate bank accounts. Bankrolls. Have a proper bankroll where you're making actual legitimate bets, and then have a bankroll that is like $10 bets because you're watching the game with your friends. Anyway, that's the show, bro. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to comment. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.